Hello everyone, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the vRotor interface. I was able to test fly it, and it was kind of exciting. Uh, mm, Issues I had with it were actually all on me, so not on the app itself, and I can go over that in a little bit. But first thing we do is log in. There is a bandwidth and processing power test that you can run to make sure you can even play. I passed, but my bandwidth is kind of iffy, and that's where all my problems actually came in. Is I was on a cellular connection 20 miles away from the nearest cellular tower, and if there's nobody driving by, I get decent connectivity. But if someone drives by on my road, then it hops out and goes chunky and whatever else. So you'll see the screen kind of pause and stuff during flight. That wasn't on their end, that was on my end. So take it with a grain of salt. But anyway, as you can see, I've logged in and I'm kind of looking around at the interface here. I'm waiting for my co-pilot to join me, and then we will go from there. So let's see here. I'm just kind of looking around. You can see the settings and the map and last race information, things like that. But soon someone else will be joining us, and we'll get a better idea and see the actual flight. All right, my co-pilot has joined us. Just to let you know, we're actually chatting. I'm not sure why the recording didn't catch audio, but there's music and sound effects, and we're actually talking to each other. And for some reason, this recording didn't pick that up, so unfortunately I can't share that with you. But I just want to let you know that there is more than just the visual aspect of this. It does work pretty well. So I'm going to jump ahead here to where we're actually in a flight, and you can kind of see how the whole thing operates. All right, so we're now in the cockpit, and you can see directly ahead of me is the live view from the camera on the drone. And if I look down, we've got the whole, Google Maps of the course in the area that we're at. I believe this was somewhere down in Southern California. I'm in Northern California, and again, I was on a cellular connection, so you're going to see right now the video is pretty smooth, but you'll see it stop and freeze. And you'll see that even more so when I'm trying to control the aircraft. I'm actually a pretty good drone pilot, but you wouldn't be able to tell it from this. So, just laugh if you want, but keep in mind that I'm not taking full responsibility for how bad I did on this. Anyway, let's go ahead and move forward to where we're actually flying so I can talk about other objects and interactions. All right, I'm now going to initiate takeoff. The takeoff is just by clicking on that little triangle there, and it will automatically take off and start hovering. As you can see, there was number 4 ahead of us. There are rings that we need to fly through, and watch these guys take off while I'm trying to figure it out. So you can see the dashed circle in the middle. You grab a solid ring there, and then you pull it up to go forward, or you push it down to go backwards. You turn it left or right. Those are the weapons we're firing, and those explosions are that thing firing at us. The idea is to destroy that before it destroys your shields, because if your shields go down to 0, you just sit there until they regenerate, and they have to regenerate to a certain percentage before you can continue moving again. Now, as you can see, I'm having a hard time turning here, and that's because my co-pilot is my weapons guy, and he also can change to 3 different flight parameters. One makes me turn faster, one makes me fly faster. So he's supposed to manage that as we're going through the course to make it, as smooth and as quick as possible. But as you can see, I'm dragging that circle, and I'm just turning really slow, and that's mostly on me because, as you just saw that chunking video there, that's my poor connection. So this was definitely different for me. I have several DJI drones, and I'm used to using 2 thumbsticks, and my Oculus Quest, which is what I'm playing on, actually does have 2 thumbsticks, but I guess this also works for the Oculus Go, which only has 1. So to make things more even on the playing scale, they limit you to 1 of the joysticks, which is why you still have to grab that circle in the middle and drag and move around in order to actually fly. This is my caveat there. I don't really think that's really putting it on an even playing field because, you can tether an Xbox. Apparently, you can put an Xbox controller through Bluetooth to these, and then you'd have 2 joysticks. So I don't know why they wouldn't just let me use my 2 joysticks unless it's a programming issue that they didn't take into consideration at the time. So the guy with the Oculus Go could do an Xbox controller, and I could just use my 2 controllers, right? I don't have to actually pair an Xbox controller. Another issue is people with keyboard and mice, just like in first-person shooters, no problems. They use their mouse to drive and their keyboard to forward, backwards, yada yada yada. And just as in most games, that's much more responsive than my single joystick or dragging the circle. So I'm not sure if the even playing field really exists, to be honest. Another problem I had is when I went to fire, because I also have, those are my lasers there firing. If I pull my trigger, I've let go of my control of that circle to move it left and right, right? So because they only support the one controller at a time thing to make it even again, if I start firing, I can't fly. So that was one aspect I didn't particularly care. But as you can see, it's a great augmented reality game. You've got the digital rings, you've got the digital enemies, if you will, but the actual feed and playing area is in reality. It's not virtual. So it's really kind of exciting. Um, Again, as you can see, it went choppy there. That's on me. That was my bandwidth. I just want to make sure that that's known because this is definitely not an issue on their side. That was just me. So, but all in all, I think this is a really great platform. I only did test it on the Oculus Quest. I could have tested it on my MacBook Pro, but since I was having connectivity issues with the internet in general, it just didn't make sense for me to waste the founder's time when my issues were not on his end. So as you can see, we're returning home, I believe it is now. So it has an auto return home. So you just click down, see where that triangle is. Right below it is the little home with a down arrow in it, or kind of a curved arrow. When you click that, that just tells the drone to return to home. So it's going to return to home, and we're resetting. But this was my experience with vRotors, and it was actually pretty cool. I would like to try just being the gunner at some point. I didn't do that. I was doing the piloting thing. And I think because I'm so used to using my dual joysticks with the drones, I was at a disadvantage being limited to one, and it kind of threw me because I'm just not used to flying that way. But all in all, I can see potential for this, especially in today's current environment where people can't go outdoors but are looking for entertainment. This is a great way to still kind of be outdoors, through the virtual interaction and fly your drone and so on and so forth. So that's it. Just wanted to give you guys a kind of a heads up on how it worked for me. Again, this probably would have been a much more impressive and much more smooth experience had I had a stronger connection than I did. But that's what I get for being 20 miles outside of town, away from the cellular tower, and with no wired internet option. So anyway, I hope you found this interesting, and let me know what you think of vRotors in general in the comments. Thank you.